station of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and this afternoon we're in Baltimore, the rubber game. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Baltimore Orioles. On this Father's Day, Major League Baseball supports the Home Run Challenge and prostate cancer awareness. Gorgeous day, game number 3 in interleague play. Scott Warman is here. That's the Mad Hungarian Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. Happy Father's Day to everyone. And in this series, Al, we've seen a lot of offense.
Well, we really have 14 home runs in the first 2 games. I must say Friday night was a lot more fun with the Cardinals hitting 5. The Cardinals really just came out here smoking the ball. This is a small ballpark. How about Fowler? He's hit home runs in 3 straight games. This is just an amazing ballpark, the way the ball flies here. Yesterday, it was not fun, as the Orioles had their fun with 5 of the 8 home runs.
15 runs, 15 hits, and the 5 homers hit by Baltimore. So, good luck, Lance Lynn. You get the start today for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals looking for a series win on the road. Lynn and the Birds on this Father's Day, and it's next.
In Baltimore. Our first pitch, starting lineups coming up next on Fox Sports Midwest.
hanging out with my dad, so it was cool.
Happy Father's Day to everyone. The Garcias, his grandfather living in assisted living in California, in San Diego. Talking to Greg the other day about all the ground balls his dad would hit to him. There's Pop Warner, father of 3 that live in St. Louis. So fathers all over the place. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
And same to you, Danny.
You too. Ubaldo Jimenez is made 8 starts. This being his 14th appearance. Only a 1-2 record in the high ERA.
You know, Dan, he was missed about a month. He was in the bullpen. But the problem was every time he pitched, he needed 3 or 4 days rest to let his arm recuperate. And it was putting too much strain on the bullpen. So they put him back in the rotation. Not necessarily that he earned it. And he's in the final year of his multi-year contract.
Hyundai pitch arsenal, the fastball, slider, good splitter when it's working, curve change and cutter, making his 9th start of the year and number 299 of his career. The Cardinals lineup: Matt Carpenter, Dexter Fowler, and Tommy Pham. Jed Jerko serving as the designated hitter. Then Yadier Molina, Steven Piscotty, Aledmys Diaz, Greg Garcia, and Paul DeJong is batting 9th. 7, 8, and 9 in the Cardinals lineup has done a lot of damage in this series.
And that's why when you look at Carpenter, he's been able to get a lot of RBIs because of all the guys being on base in front of him.
Carpenter is hitting .247, 13 home runs, and he's driven in 38. His father Rick, I'm sure, is watching. He was his high school coach. 2 for 6 in this series. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Last start against the Cardinals was back on August 9th of 2014 here at Oriole Park. 6 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5, and he earned a win. 1-2.
Jimenez, opponent's #1 hitter in the batting order, hitting .433 against him with 3 home runs. So hopefully Carpenter can jumpstart. That his hitting streak stopped yesterday at 10 games.
And the 1-2 pitch inside. It was Jimenez and not Zach Britton that lost that heartbreaking game last year with a walk-off homer in the 11th against Toronto in the playoffs. Here's a 2-2. Pulled foul. Baltimore starts today a game under 500 and 5.5 out in the American League East. The Cardinals 4.5 games out at 31 and 36. Milwaukee leads the division by 2.5 over Chicago. Breaking ball taken low. And it's 3-2.
No surprise there, is it? Carpenter hitting deep in the count, giving himself a good opportunity to get a pitch he can drive.
Pops it up. Stays 3-2. Dobbs, Tire, and Auto Center's defense for the Orioles today. Kim, Jones, and Smith in the outfield. Machado, Hardy, Scope, Mancini on the infield, and Castillo is behind the plate.
Line up for all 3 games.
Another full count pitch to Matt Carpenter with the shift on to the right side. And Carpenter lifts a fly ball out to right. Seth Smith backing up at the edge of the track to make the catch. Dexter Fowler and Carpenter went 4 for 6, 4 RBIs in game 1. That's his home run as he went back-to-back with Matt. And then yesterday, this 3-run shot the opposite way.
And the last home game he hit a home run. So hitting home runs in 3 straight games. He has thrived in that 2-hole as Carpenter has been outstanding in the leadoff spot.
So the 12 home runs, I'm not sure we expected that out of Dexter Fowler so far this year. Hits it down the right field line, but foul. Dexter says about his dad, the one thing that he taught him in the game of baseball, and it really has proven true when you look at his career and the on-base percentage and drawing walks. He said, son, make sure you swing at strikes. Swing at strikes.
Yeah, good advice. Don't chase anything out of the strike zone, and make sure when you get a strike, swing at it. Talked about Dexter's 12 home runs. Last year he had 13, but I think we're thinking maybe he'd hit 13, something like that again, but off to a great start.
Here's a 1-1. You don't see him chase very often, do you?
No, you really don't. And got a pretty good idea of the strike zone. Disciplined enough to take that advice, from his father. Sometimes dads have good advice. We could say that now on Father's Day, right?
Yeah, we can get away with it. And a pitch taken inside, so a walk. BJC Healthcare difference maker Dexter Fowler. The 10 games before and then after the move in the lineup to bat second. It's made a difference for Matt Carpenter moving up. Certainly good numbers for Fowler too.
Can't argue with what 1 and 2 in the order have done. And then, like you said, in this series, what the production we've got 7, 8, and 9. You can see why the Cardinals are scoring a lot of runs.
Here's Tommy Pham. Hit the ball hard a couple of times yesterday. And he had a long home run, longest of the 5 in game 1 into the seats in left. 286, 6 home runs, and he's driven in 18. Told the story on Friday night, article written in USA Today by a terrific baseball writer in Bob Nightingale, and previewing Father's Day. And Tommy has seen his dad twice in his life, and I'll say it again if you get a chance to look it up. It's a great look inside Tommy's life, what he's dealt with vision wise, the mentors that got him to the big leagues, but his father currently in jail in Las Vegas. Very well done by Bob Nightingale.
And like you say, with all the injuries, the eye problems, that about his father, just have to be just so much more impressed with Tommy Pham and what he's gone through and what he goes through daily to try and get to play and compete at this level.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think the Cardinals might be aggressive on the bases against Jimenez. Very slow to the plate.
Yes, good point. 6'5". That's usually when you get guys that are real tall, they have a tendency to be slow to the plate, don't have those quick feet. Doesn't always apply, but it does in his case.
The 2-2 pitch to Tommy Pham instead of check on Fowler. Jimenez is 6th all time among major league pitchers, born in the Dominican Republic. 1,631 strikeouts. Runner goes, pitch taken for a ball, throw to second, quick tag, and got him.
Dexter's kind of slow leaving there. Matheny may want to challenge this. Didn't get a particularly good jump. The throw bounces up there, but as you said, real quick tag.
This will be our best look. Ooh, that's close.
Real close. It looked like those fingers, but not close enough, as they're not going to challenge.
Great work by the crew here in Baltimore all weekend long. We thank them for their efforts. Some of the best in the business right here in Baltimore. 3-2 pitch to Tommy Pham, and he struck him out. So caught stealing of Dexter Fowler, strikeout of Pham. And we head to the bottom of the first. Lance Lynn to the mound when we come back. Five innings in his last two starts. A 2.69 ERA. The Cardinals with 3 pitchers in the top 15 in ERA in the National League. And a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal. I think what's interesting, Al, if you look at yesterday and the day before, the Cardinals have been throwing a ton of breaking balls against a powerful lineup. And here you have Lynn, who's throwing his fastball about 80% of the time. And so this is the lineup that he'll face: Smith, Machado, and Jones, Trumbo, Mancini, Scope, Castillo, Kim, and Hardy. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches it.
Yeah, and also the fact that Lance Lynn has allowed 12 home runs this year. His career high in home runs allowed is 16.
Toyota keys to the game. 5 of the 12 home runs allowed on non-fastballs.
There again, may tell you, throw more fastballs.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's just about 80% fastballs, but he'll make that fastball more than one pitch by sinking it, cutting it, riding it, pitching at different quadrants in the strike zone.
And the 1-1 pitch to Smith. A strike. Smith played at Ole Miss. That's where Lance Lynn pitched at and holds many of the records in their baseball program. Seth also the backup quarterback 3 years to Eli Manning, but never took a snap. 1-2 pitch is hit out of play.
But he was really good in practice.
Oh yeah, scout team, he was awesome. All-American.
Save a little wear and tear on the body, right?
I was going to say, he's probably thankful he never took a snap.
Exactly.
I would expect that Lynn is really strong for this start today. Lifted after 78 pitches 2 starts ago. And that was against Cincinnati. The Cardinals actually led in that game 3-1. Weren't scoring a lot of runs. Mike Matheny went for it offensively. In a move that Fowler did get a base hit as the pinch hitter, drove in a run. Another man thrown out at the plate. But the bullpen could not hold the lead. And then he went 5 innings in his last start, picked up a win.
Actually, Dan, he hasn't finished 6 innings in his last 4 starts. But as you said a couple times, it was not coming out of games because of being knocked out. He was scoring opportunities or something of that nature. That can work against you when you're overly strong and take you a while to kind of wear down a little bit.
Now, these two are not teammates at Ole Miss. That's what you get on a hot dog, and he puts Orioles and ketchup. That is a talented vendor here at the ballpark.
Service.
Here's a 3-2, driven out to center, and it is 1-0 Orioles. Home run, Seth Smith, his 7th of the year.
Just like that, we talked about he's never given up more than 16 home runs in a season. That is 12. But the one thing, this is his 13th home run round, but 10 of them have been solo shots. And a lot of times you get that full count and you say, okay, I'm going to throw a ball up and away, hit it. Well, he did. That's a 15th home run hit in this series.
Wow. Here's Manny Machado. He homered yesterday. Essentially a line drive that carried over the wall. The miles per hour was 109 off the bat. 13th home run of the year. He's 2 for 8 in this series. Home run and a double. Out in front, popped up right below us. He has driven in 31, and here's a line shot.
Wow. Adam Wainwright just seemed like everything he threw had very little break to it and was in the middle of the plate. Just couldn't get the corners, couldn't get a good bite on his off-speed pitches.
Here's the 0-2. And a strikeout of Machado. So Lynn has allowed 27 runs, and 18 of the 27 have come via the home run. That's about 67%.
But like I said, of this 13 home runs he's allowed, 10 of them now are solo shots. So he's done a good job. He's not allowed more than 4 runs in any start this year.
Interesting to see the breaking ball there on Machado.
Well, you got to do something at times, and it was good in the fact that it was completely out of the strike zone, but fooled him on an off-speed pitch.
Here's Adam Jones. Wainwright yesterday, you could see early on, his shortest outing of his career, inning and 2/3. Just could not get that breaking ball rolling. And Adam, to his credit, took all the blame.
Well, Adam's a professional. But
he sure is.
We both noticed that there was no batting practice today, and right in front of the dugout, he was throwing with Derek Lilliquist for watching him, and it's almost like he went and found video, saw a video and found some little thing and couldn't wait to show. Like, okay, throw out that game yesterday. I found out what I did wrong mechanically, and I'll be better for it.
A guy like Wainwright will take the blame even at times when he doesn't deserve it. Always there, accountable, talking to the media, talking about his starts, what's happening with the team. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jones. And that's a strikeout, number 2. Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's defense. Pham, Fowler, and Piscotti in the outfield. Garcia, Diaz, DeYoung, and Carpenter on the infield. And Yadier Molina is behind the plate.
Lance Lynn has really had trouble with 2 batters in this lineup. Trumbo, who's hitting now, and also Castillo.
Trumbo, a home run yesterday, his 9th, and his first in 55 plate appearances. And normally you'd say for any other player, no big deal. A little gap there, but he had 47 of them a year ago.
And led the major leagues for those home runs. Of course, they only had 253 home runs as a team last year.
One ball, 1 strike with 2 outs and nobody on. And once again catching today, Yadier Molina. 3 brothers that I'm sure their dad is looking down and very proud of. Benji, Jose, and Yadi. All 3 became major league catchers.
That's rarity in itself, but how about the fact that all 3 of them were on 2 World Championship teams?
Benji wrote the book. Molina, I've read that, talking about the impact that their father made on them. Would work long, hard hours and then come home and head to the fields, and not just helping the 3 brothers, but all the young players in their community. And many times in that book you have the phrase "respect the game." It is said over and over and over, as their father tried to instill that into the 3 boys. 3-2 pitch, popped up. Molina shading from the sun, tough play, but he makes it. Yadier Molina due up second on this Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to Cardinal Nation. It's 1-0 Baltimore. Nothing Baltimore. Players wearing the blue around Major League Baseball to raise awareness for prostate cancer research. Jimenez with a 1-0 lead after the 13th home run allowed by Lynn, matching his total from 14 and 15. His career high is 16 home runs allowed. Jerko on the first pitch, pops it up into shallow center, and the catch is made by the shortstop, J.J. Hardy.
Jimenez, his last start was May 22nd, and he surrendered 6 runs on 9 hits, a couple walks, 3 strikeouts, and just 4+ innings. He has no record at home, and he has an ERA that's almost 9.
So it brings in Yadier Molina, homered in this series, number 7. That was yesterday. He's driven in 24 and batting .263. Not only Father's Day, but happy birthday to our outstanding director, Tom Mee, as you get a look at the home run hit by Molina and then was taken out of the game. Happy birthday, Tom. Also Jim Jackson, the radio engineer.
And how about Lou Brock?
That's right, 78 today.
Great Hall of Famer. Talking about greats. I guess we better mention Terry Rush. It's his 70th birthday.
It's a fantasy camp Hall of Famer, and there's Jim Jackson there in the background, Mike Claiborne as well, and John Rooney, but Jim there on the top left, longtime producer and engineer of Cardinals radio. Commonly referred to as a saint.
Jim Jackson?
Yes, sir. The 2-2. Slowly hit to the right side. Scope diving for it from his knees. The stretch and the out. Scope the diving stop. Mancini the stretch, and there's 2 down.
Well, we talked about the Orioles and how good their infield defense is. This is a nice play. A lot of second basemen would have given up on it. He was playing close to the second base bag. Several steps out in the outfield grass, dives for it, pops up, and Yachty just can't buy a hit.
Yachty pointing at the bag, thinking that Mancini, his foot wasn't there, but no challenge from the Cardinals. And it brings in Stephen Piscotty. And a curveball hit a ton into right center. Going back, Adam Jones at the wall, and it's gone. Stephen Piscotty has tied it up with his 5th home run of the year.
Maybe that day off yesterday paid dividends. Boy, you just get a ball up in the air. Every ball to the fly or the outfield, you got to hold your breath. Maybe a home run. Good for our home run challenge, but hanging breaking ball. Hit it right off the end of the bat. It didn't have that crisp sound, so you kind of wondered if it would carry, but it did in enough.
Here's a lead miss Diaz.
Yeah, the Cardinals in the last 8 games, their offense has scored 52 runs coming in today. And of course, the Orioles have really, on the other side, they've allowed 5 runs or more, 14 straight games.
Ground ball left side to Machado. And he makes the play. He is smooth over there at third base. The Cardinals get a home run from Stephen Piscotty, and it comes on Father's Day. I'm sure mom and dad are watching. Proud of Stephen. Good player, good man. Off limits today after pitching yesterday. More on that. Let's check in with Scotty.
All right, thanks, Danny. And he is off limits today, but you think about it, 3 1/3 innings yesterday really saved the bullpen again and again. 3 innings pitched, if you remember, in that doubleheader, and the 3 inning save for him on Tuesday in just 3 days rest. Ask him about only 3 days in between those 3 innings pitched, and he says he can recover a lot quicker, Danny, when it starts to get warmer. And obviously it's warmer here today in Baltimore, but he says he's up for anything to help this ball club out, whether it's that specialty role we've seen him trying to get left-handers out, or the long relief. By the way, one other thing for Tyler Lyons on this Father's Day, he told me after our interview for the pregame show that and congratulations to he and his wife, they are expecting coming up in December. By the way, happy birthday, or happy Father's Day to you, Danny, as well as Humble.
All right, thank you, Scott. 1 ball and rather 2 balls and 1 strike on Mancini. Scope on deck, and then Castillo. And that's pulled foul. Mancini credits his father, who's a doctor, for getting him to the big leagues. He said his dad used to work long hours, come home, throw him batting practice, ground balls. A lot of sacrifices that parents make to get their kids to practices, or even in the backyard, all the time that's spent to help develop these players.
Would all these players be without their moms?
Yep.
Do most of that driving.
And a fly ball into right, and this ball is gone. Mancini with home run number 12. 2-1 Baltimore.
Mancini's their prize rookie. Last year he was only at A ball and AA. His second home run of this series. He's now 5 for 10 with 2 home runs.
And to think, Al, that a few years ago they actually moved the fences back.
We wouldn't know it, would you?
Nope.
My first look at this ballpark, and it's 25 years old, was back in 2014. I always wanted to kind of see this one, the very first one of the retro ballparks. I've seen enough of it.
Here's Jonathan Scope. Popped up on the first pitch. Carpenter, foul territory, and makes the catch. Lynn, Martinez, Mike Leake, our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Their numbers, and then look at the ERAs. All are in the top 10.
It's pretty good when you think about that. 3 stars in the top 10. There's Lance Lynn is finding that in this ballpark, you don't get rewarded at all. Sometimes you just throw a pitch and say hit it. Well, you can't do that in this park because it'll go out.
Here's Wellington Castillo.
He's had success against Lynn. 6 for 9 and 2 homers.
And it's out of play.
These blue uniforms are worn for a very good cause. I think Adam Wainwright's hoping he never puts another one on. Lynn's probably there too.
Base hit to left. So Castillo, the second hit for the Orioles here in the bottom of the second.
Rifle off the bat right here. You see, he just had time to take that half step and a dive right on by him.
Back in 2014, these two teams met right here, and in those 3 games it was 38 runs combined. We are currently at 38 right now in this series.
John Lackey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I can't remember how many home runs he gave up, but it was almost like he experienced that every time he came to this ballpark. You know, the tough attitude that he has, and competitor. Wasn't a happy day for him when he pitched.
Not sure any day has been happy for him. Lynn's got a little bit of that streak in him too.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we missed Lackey last season, and Lance Lynn was out all year. There is something to be said about that attitude and that feistiness when it's their day to pitch.
Popped up. Kim had no idea where that ball was off the bat. It's in the glove of Garcia for out number 2. Today we're participating in the home run challenge, and every home run and strikeout in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $3.3 million have been raised in the challenge, and you can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Here's J.J. Hardy.
Yesterday, Dan, the Orioles and Cardinals made their contribution, but there were a total of 56 home runs hit in the majors.
There are many around the game that believe the ball is juiced again.
Yeah, and then there were 289 strikeouts in the 16 games.
Picked up a ball yesterday. The seams, they're not spiked at all. They're not up. And the ball is tight.
You know, Dan, they used to be hand sewn in Haiti, the baseballs. Then with the political unrest and things that have gone on in Haiti, they moved the baseball factory to Costa Rica. And the girls in Costa Rica are much, much stronger than the ones in Haiti. Because you're right, those things are pulled so tight. The ball is so much harder. You know, you said, like, there's no raised seams at all.
Three and one. Hardy, a ground ball left side in the hole. Diaz covering the bag. Gets to Young. Orioles get a home run from Mancini, and after 2 on this Father's Day, it's 2-1. Baseball break, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. What's happening around the game? I'll mention it. 56 home runs yesterday, tied for 3rd most in a single day all time. And a lot of strikeouts, second most in a single day. It's your T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. Here's Greg Garcia. And that pitch taken for a ball. 2-1, the Orioles with the lead. Greg Garcia talking to Scott on the pregame show about a family summer trip every year to various baseball parks. His dad has run his own insurance company after he was drafted by the Yankees. And Greg telling me countless hours at Russell Road, which is the ballpark that they used to go to, not too far away from their home. And he said, I loved it because there were short fences and I actually could hit home runs.
His grandfather knew him in the 60s and actually playing 1 year in Mexico in the Winter League, was picked up by his grandfather to go to the Caribbean World Series. Dave Garcia, 96 years of age, born in East St. Louis. What a great baseball mind he is.
And a strikeout of Garcia. Tailing back in. And it's strikeout number 2.
Yeah, Greg knew it. See that? Think it's inside, and then it tails back to the middle of the plate.
Brings in Paul DeYoung.
Nice series for Paul, right?
Absolutely.
4 for 7, 4 runs scored, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs.
And strike 1. Got a chance to see Paul's mom and dad a lot that first week that he was in the big leagues. Scope battling the sun and makes the catch.
See the sun just battling here. This is not the first one. From our vantage point, we look up, we see a lot of cloud cover, but apparently over behind our heads it must be no clouds at all, and these guys are all battling the sun. It is very bright today.
So 2 outs and nobody on. And the batter will be the Cardinals leadoff man Matt Carpenter, flied out to right to start this contest. One and one. Last start for Jimenez back on May 22nd against Minnesota. 6 runs on 9 hits. Walked 2, struck out 3. Good tight breaky ball.
Breaking ball there. Gets ahead of you. He has that splitter also.
And it's tap foul. Kia in the driver's seat. The Cardinals offense has picked it up. Last 8, averaging close to 7 runs a game. 14 home runs. They average at 285. Pitch taken high. fouled back.
Waldo won as many as 19 games when he was with Colorado.
Threw a no-hitter too.
Yeah, threw a no-hitter. They sent him packing to Cleveland.
The 2-2 pitch to Carpenter. In the dirt, 3-2. Carpenter went to 3-2 in his first plate appearance today. One swing could tie it up. Carpenter is sitting on 13 home runs. And he draws a walk. Team leader in that, 40+ this year, in the top 10 in that category in the National League.
Second walk allowed today.
And the first was to Dexter Fowler. So 2 outs and a runner at first. May surprise you, but you look at the numbers at this ballpark in this weekend, obviously would not lay claim to this statement, but this has been a fair ballpark in terms of home runs, runs.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you say, seeing the first 2 games of this series,
You wouldn't know it.
what we remember from 2014, definitely wouldn't know it or think that. And you know, as a pitcher, you got to pitch your own game. You can't worry about the dimensions of the ballpark you're pitching in.
Hit the other way, and he beats the shift. So runners at first and second for the Cardinals, and in steps Tommy Pham. Pham was called out on strikes back in the first inning.
Got the defense all around, the off-speed pitch. Gets in on his hands a little bit, but he fights it off to hits the opposite field, and 2 outs. But the Cardinals hopefully will get something going here. They've had some 2-out success recently.
So 2 outs and 2 on. A pitch in the dirt. Hitting 200 with runners in scoring position. Castillo out to visit with Jimenez.
First time a man at second, maybe going over what that sign would be.
Mentioned that the Orioles started out in St. Louis. 1954, moved to Baltimore. The Browns became the Orioles, which is the official state bird of Maryland. There had been baseball in Baltimore early 1900s, but the Browns became the Orioles, and they've been here since 1954. The Browns actually fired Branch Rickey. The Cardinals hired him immediately. The Browns shared Sportsman's Park. Cardinals moved out of Robinson Field. Rickey used those profits from that sale to build what is now the modern day farm system.
Yeah.
It's 3-0.
Was it 42 or 44? It's the series between the Browns and the Cardinals.
1944, the Trolley Series. 3-0 pitch, and Pham is swinging. Hit to scope, and the Cardinals strand 2. Beautiful day here in Baltimore. Glad that you're with us. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a Cardinals pullover courtesy of Monsanto. Features a new updated logo. That's Friday, June 23rd. It'll be Smith, Machado, and Jones. 1, 2, and 3 in the Orioles lineup. So that trolley series, the longest game was 2 hours and 32 minutes. The winning share, $4,600. For the Browns, that was their only American League pennant.
Bob Gibson told me that his first World Series, he spent more money in buying tickets than he got in his share.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. In 1944 was such a remarkable period in our history because of war. That did have a direct effect on baseball. Many of the players were ineligible because they were serving in World War II. Base hit out to center. So it was the Cardinals and the Browns. They called it the Trolley Series. Longest game, again, 2 hours, 32 minutes. The Browns, their only American League pennant.
And I think there was more than 200 major leaguers that were serving in armed forces during that time.
Amazing period in our country's history. Here's Manny Machado. He struck out swinging back in the first and looks at ball one. Cardinals, against any active franchise, their best winning percentage. Orioles or the Browns. During the pregame here, they had the celebration and the statue dedication, the video of the Earl Weaver statue.
He was also born in St. Louis.
His father was a dry cleaner that used to clean the uniforms of the Browns and the Cardinals. Think about that. He was actually signed by the Cardinals as a second baseman. 1948, never made it to the big leagues as a player, but he preached pitching, defense, and the three-run home run.
Very, very colorful. He was not loved by the umpires.
No, sir.
But boy, can you think and picture in your mind some of those classic Earl Weaver confrontations with the umpires and kicking dirt, and doing all kinds of stuff. Orioles had a closer named Stanhouse, and Earl Weaver called him full pack because he'd smoke a full pack of cigarettes when he pitched.
A swing and a miss by Machado, 3-2.
Manny talking to himself. Struck out on a breaking ball that bounced up there. That one running in on him way off the plate. He was not disappointed us defensively in this series, but hard to see his averages down at 215.
Here's a 3-2. And it's fouled back.
See the high pitch count again by Lance Lynn.
Out of play. Smith was running. 1926. Browns owner was anticipating a Browns World Series. So He increased the capacity at Sportsman's Park from 18,000 to 30,000. Philip Ball, the owner, he was right. It was a World Series. The Cardinals upset the Yankees. Up until that time, St. Louis in many ways was considered a Browns town. A strikeout.
Walk.
Nope. It's a walk. They had to appeal on that. He did hold out. What's interesting, though, Ball died in 1933. Branch Rickey helped broker a sale to an investment banker, Donald Lee Barnes. His son-in-law, Bill DeWitt, was the team's GM. His son, Bill DeWitt Jr., now the principal owner of the Cardinals. And Bill DeWitt was a protege of Branch Rickey, and one of his first jobs for now the Cardinals owner was selling soda at the ballpark.
Start it all the way down and work your way up, huh?
Adam Jones, hot shot to third, could be two. The turn, it's a double play. Boy, did Lynn need that.
Still not out of it, but you're absolutely right. Pitcher's best friend end up with Seth Smith would be over at third base, but you erase two. Hard shot here. He's too far off the bag to go to third, so he's got to go to second, get the double play.
And famous about Bill DeWitt, he was also a bat boy. 1951. Eddie Goodell, 3'7", was put on the roster, but a uniform did not fit him, so they took the Cardinals owner now, Bill DeWitt, as a boy, as a bat boy, his jersey, and gave it to Eddie Goodell. That had been in Cooperstown until it was requested back by the DeWitt family. And originally the number was Bobby Dillinger's, a third baseman, number 6, and that was Bill's favorite player. There's Eddie Goodell.
And that was the only plate appearance he had. Because after that, the commissioner said you can't do that. That's why that one plate appearance was so famous. Jim Delsing pinch ran for Eddie Goodell, Jay Delsing's father.
And Jay is working on the broadcast on Fox for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing, though? The Eddie Goodell jersey now is presented at the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Here's the 0-2 inside.
And prior to it coming to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, when you said it was in Cooperstown, that used to be kind of a trivia question. What owner of a major league team's uniform is in Cooperstown?
According to Bill, I had an interview with him a few years ago. He said actually it was passed around from family member to family member and used during Halloween. And there's a base hit into left field. So Trumbo, the 2-out single. And it's now a 3-1 Orioles lead.
It just looked like he got in on him. But look at how strong these guys are, and just fights it off. This is over the infield and pick up their third run.
There's Trey Mancini, home run to the opposite way, first time up. 2 outs and a runner at first. Inside. You ever had Boog's barbecue here at the ballpark? Boog Powell?
No, but I'll tell you what, Boog Powell is one of the funniest men to ever be around.
Part of their 1970 World Series championship. Last World Series in which all the games were played in the day. Remember that? That used to be the case with the World Series.
Oh remember when we used to be able to watch them in school. You know, that would be not when we were even involved in it as a city or something like that.
Sure.
But that's how popular the game was, how big the World Series was. That they would allow you to watch those games in school, elementary school.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. He had 3 20-game winners on that team in 1970. Cuellar, Palmer,
McNally.
Yep.
So then they had 4 20-game winners in the 70s also.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Trey Mancini, and a swing and a miss. Lynn, his 3rd strikeout, gets the double play, but a 2-out base hit by Trumbo, and it's now a 3-1 Baltimore lead. Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less, and by your local St. Louis area Volkswagen dealers. Jed Jerko to lead it off. Cardinals trailing 3-1. Then Yadier Molina and Steven Piscotty. Jerko popped out to short his first time up. Was in the clubhouse yesterday and got here early, sat down, had a coffee with Mike Schilt, the third base coach of the Cardinals, and he said this was very emotional for him to come back to Camden Yards. Mike began in baseball. It's really interesting. Grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was 8 years old. His mother was the secretary for the Orioles AA affiliate. And his first job in baseball, he got $5 to chase balls that were out of play. Well, eventually, fast forward to 1980, Mike is the clubhouse manager of that team. And at that point, a young third baseman, that's right, third baseman, not shortstop, by the name of Cal Ripken, was coming through. And Mike told me he did play in every game that season, too. Never took a day off. And Schilt was then here the night that Cal Ripken broke the all-time games played record. But the night before is when he tied it. Mike said he had a ball, or rather a ticket, and he bought it on the street. At that point, he said he's coaching baseball, making no money. And so he said, all right, next day, as Molina grounds out, I'm going to meet a friend of his who's a Secret Service agent for Bill Clinton. So they were going to get him in. Well, he went to the wrong place. So he used the ticket from the night before that was not punched. Tried to get in the first gate, didn't work. Second gate, it works. Ripken, as you see, 2,131 games. He would break the record. The first foul ball after that lands at the feet of Mike Shildt. So he's got the ball from that game. And they just had a recent anniversary of that championship club in Charlotte. And Mike showed up. First guy that said hello to him was Cal Ripken. He told him the story about the ball, and he said it's his greatest keepsake in baseball.
And of course, Cal Ripken Sr., longtime coach with Earl Weaver. Saw that one scene where they flashed to a gentleman in a coat and tie in the stands. That was Senior.
(2,131 consecutive games. It was a 22-minute, 15-second delay, and you could see he was pushed out by his teammates. He did not want to take that lap. And it was Bobby Bonilla and Rafael Palmeiro that pushed him out, made him do it. What many people don't know is the year later he set the all-time pro baseball record of 2,216. There actually was a streak in Japan that was longer than the one that he had, which started on or in the early 1980s, and then he stepped aside. It was May of 1982. That was September of 95 when he broke the record, and he sat on September 20th, 1998. That was the O's final home game, and it's a streak of 2,632 consecutive games played. It's amazing.
Lou Gehrig's the Iron Man record, who kind of baseball you always find out about Wally Pipp.
Longest active streak for the Cardinals. Got a ways to go, 36, and Escobar a ways to go too. That's the longest in baseball. Longest all time for the Cardinals, 895. And over 1,100 games for Miguel Tejada, who spent some years here in Baltimore too.
Wally Pipp was the starting position player for the Yankees, and one day he had a headache. He said, "Oh, I'll let the kid play." That kid happened to be Lou Gehrig, and then went on his long streak. And it's kind of, when you go up in baseball, you're always, you know, hey, don't be Wally Pipp. There's always somebody chasing your job.
In the air to center again off the bat of Piscotty. His second of the day and a long one. 2 home runs, Stephen Piscotty, and that cuts the lead to 3-2.
Kind of about long streaks, and then you see how Piscotty comes back energized after just having one day off. Sometimes you need a little mental break, physical break. And here is the benefit of having that break. 2 solo home runs. Got 6 on the year now.
Second multi-home run game of his career. Strike 2 at Ledmus Diaz. Pretty amazing story by Mike Shildt. Doesn't know where the front is to come in with the Secret Service, but sneaks his way in, if you will, and gets that baseball into right. Smith won't get there, and that drops in for a hit.
Both of Piscotty's home runs have come with 2 outs too.
So 2 outs and a runner at first, and here's Greg Garcia. Struck out back in the second inning looking. Mike also was telling me one of his great keepsakes in the game of baseball is that he has the exact replica of the black book that George Kissel kept for much of his career. That was a gift from Dr. Richard Kissel. Fans remember him from the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Dad went in and he made the speech. Cardinals strand a runner. That's Diaz, but they get the second home run of the day off the bat of Stephen Piscotty. 2 solo shots. It's 3-2. To once-in-a-lifetime experiences, from Cardinal games to amazing concerts to shows you just don't want to miss. StubHub connects you with the world of live. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of your St. Louis Cardinals. Piscotty, pair of solo home runs, and it's a 3-2 lead for Baltimore. It'll be Scope, Castillo, and Kim. Here's a 1-0. Fastball misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Warm, muggy afternoon here in Baltimore. Off day tomorrow for the Cardinals. St. Louis will bus over to Philly. And then we'll start a 3-game series. Beginning on Tuesday night, Mike Leake against Jeremy Hellickson. Michael Wacha against Nick Pivetta in Game 2. Carlos Martinez and Aaron Nola in Game 3, and that's a day game. All 3 games will be on Fox Sports Midwest.
Let's win this game here and try and do the same thing to the Phillies that the Cardinals did to them at home. Sweep them. So that pitch count 67. I'd like to see Lynn be a little more economical.
Here's a 3-2. Popped up to Paul DeYoung. Puts it away for the out. And there's one away here in the bottom half of the 4th. Brings in Castillo. It was 15 years ago today. The city, the organization, baseball lost the great Jack Buck. 15 years ago today. I got to work with him doing NFL shows on Sunday nights at KMOX, and then got to work radio games with him. I know you did as well. Wonderful man.
I was working that game with Joe Buck. And before the game, Joe told me his father was going to die tonight. I said, what do you mean? Well, it's been enough time. We're going to end it. And I said, well, Joe, leave. And he goes, no. My dad would want me to be here. They're going to wait till I get to the hospital. But just a wonderful, wonderful man. And how many countless Hall of Fames that Jack Buck was in. But that didn't speak volumes about what he was as a person, what he meant to the Cardinal fans.
The strikeout of Castillo, number 4 today. I thought that year was the best job of managing by Tony La Russa. Unquestionably, with the loss of Darryl Kyle, the city grieving with the loss of Jack Buck, and he took that team into the NLCS.
Great job of holding everybody together and using it as motivation.
Tony told me he had an article that was written by Bernie Miklasz, great writer, one of the best in St. Louis, and actually made copies of it and put it on each stall in the locker room. And it was a wonderful article, coming together, grief, how you deal with it, everything that you might imagine in that type of situation. And Bernie to be commended for that wonderful piece. The 2-0 pitch. And that is a foul ball, but it hit the bag.
That is unbelievable.
Hit the bag. That's a fair ball.
It's fair ball, and that is not reviewable, right? Because it hadn't gone past first base.
Well, I'm sure he's going to get help on this too.
They'll get together and get it straight.
I would tell Matt Carpenter go touch the bag, which he hasn't done yet.
Yes, I noticed that too. Gary Davis is the crew chief who Mike's talking to, the first base umpire. I mean, watch this. Or was it a foul ball? Did it hit his foot?
Yeah, I think that's why they're calling this a dead ball.
At least you commend them for getting together to try and get this thing straight. But looking at that video, it looked like it changed direction when it hit his foot. It's the front foot. And of course, there you can't really tell. Maybe from this angle.
I never hit his foot.
Never hit his foot. Right.
Just hit off something on the dirt or a rock or something.
Well, looks like we're going to lose this one.
Wow. See, this view, it looks like it may hit his foot, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's hit something in foul territory. Hit the bag. You saw it come up.
Yeah, I'm not sure it necessarily hit the bag after I look at that. Maybe right in front of the bag, but it goes over the bag. That would constitute then a fair ball. Odd play. 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Those series of replays, at one point I thought it hit his foot. It didn't. And on some of them I thought it hit the bag. I'm not sure it did. Regardless, 3-1 the count on Kim. And now he walked him. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Walk number 2 by Lynn extends this inning to Hardy.
pitch count. 78, trying to get through the 4th inning. You know, Lance Lynn, big and strong. He doesn't think that 100-pitch barrier means anything to him, but he always wants to stay in a ball game. I think now you really do have to try and go past that that century barrier. Hopefully get 2 or 3 more innings.
It's a ball and 2 strikes. Hardy grounded into a fielder's choice, first time up. Short lead at first by Kim. Inside, and it hits Hardy. It's the 4th Oriole that's been hit in this series. Buck Showalter out to the top step of the dugout. They're going to check on their shortstop.
Yeah, of the 4 that have been hit, there was never one that was intentional. But when you get around the hand, you always worry about those small bones in the hand. Just trying to run the ball in. Look at the ball sail. Look at it, Yachty moving. Glove just going up and in. Might have been more of the wrist.
So yesterday there was 3 O's that were hit. And as Al mentioned, none of this seems to be intentional by any means. Those are breaking balls, those first 2. This one runs in by Bowman. And then moments ago, J.J. Hardy.
Well, obviously, you've seen the ball fly out of the ballpark, so you don't want to throw it down the middle, and you're trying to hit spots inside, and the ball takes off a little bit. But the problem is you bring up Smith, who's 2 for 2 against Lynn today and 4 for 7 in his career against Lance Lynn.
So 2 outs and 2 on. Home run by Smith. And a single and a run scored in the 3rd. And the breaking ball taken down and in.
Extends the inning, so he's out there throwing more pitches. And the difference with the DH, Lance Lynn is first up next inning. You know, but now with the DH, you don't have to worry about the pitcher hitting. You should be able to go much further into a ball game if your pitch count is reasonable.
Here's a 1-0.
In the 70s, Dan, most National League clubs had 10 pitchers, 10 or 11. Some American League clubs had as few as 9 because you didn't have, pitcher wasn't hitting.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, a good one. Lynn going with more breaking balls in this at bat with Smith.
Always had success against him, so he's just trying to pull out something in his bag of tricks that he normally doesn't go to. Ahead in the count.
Runners at first and second, and the 1-2 pitch. Bounced and kept in front by Molina. It's been a grind today for Lance Lynn.
Yeah, it really has. See, his pace has really slowed down, and He'd be the first one to tell you that he doesn't have his best stuff, but still competing.
The 2-2. Struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Lance Lynn. Coming up, DeYoung, Carpenter, and then Fowler, who's had a big series and already today on base twice. 3-2 after 4. All right, Jimmy, thanks. Happy Father's Day to Jim Hayes. Here's Paul DeYoung. Jimmy works a lot of long hours. Morning radio, up late at night. You'll find him at the park. Any free hour he's got with young Tyler. Pitch inside to DeYoung. I was talking earlier in that story about Mike Schilt, disciple, if you will, of George Kissel, and how it ties into even the Orioles today. Earl Weaver with George Kissel in the farm system, learning how to manage and how to play the game the proper way, and if you will, the Cardinal way. And he carried that over to managing the Baltimore Orioles. It all weaves back in history to what we see today. Here's a 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Pitch up and in. 70 pitches here for Jimenez. Hasn't made a start in nearly a month.
And a swing and a miss. A strikeout of DeYoung, and number 3 today. The blue being worn by the players around Major League Baseball for prostate cancer research. Great Earl Weaver.
That's Earl.
So 3 strikeouts today for Jimenez, and here's Carpenter. He's been on base with a walk, also flied out to right. This is what the Cardinals thought they were going to get when they signed Dexter Fowler, which is production in the first 3 in this lineup, getting on base a lot, and that's been the case here. Here's a 1-0 pitch. One of Earl Weaver's daughters, by the way, still lives in St. Louis. And the 1-1. Just a bit low.
Good pitcher's pitch right there, not rewarded.
And that pitch taken inside. Second walk for Matt Carpenter. In steps Dexter Fowler. Getting to that stage in the game where neither manager really wants to go to their bullpen, as you see Fowler the last 3 months, and he's picked it up here in June, but both may have to. Pitch count getting high with Lynn. Jimenez back in their starting rotation. How far can he go today?
I think the Cardinals feel better about extending Lynn than probably Buck Showalter with Jimenez.
Inside.
Like I said, he hasn't pitched in nearly a month out of the rotation. And in that 3 weeks plus, he only had 4 appearances out of the bullpen.
They're starting to stretch now in the Orioles pen. And that's a liner that could be 2. It is 2. The oddest of double plays. In and out of the glove of Mancini, turns into a double play, and nothing Carpenter can do. Bottom of 5, 3-2. Piscotty with a couple of solo home runs, and let's check in with Scott Warman.
All right, Danny, thanks. You guys have been talking about the home runs. We've been talking them all weekend here in Baltimore. Talked to a few of the Cardinals before the game this morning and asked them about this ballpark, and every player that I spoke to this morning said that this ballpark, Camden Yards, kind of reminds them, Danny, a little bit of Great American Ballpark and how the ball flies out of that ballpark as well. In fact, Greg Garcia, one of the guys I spoke with this morning, Dan, he said, you know, my short time that I've been in Major League Baseball, I can already tell how many more home runs he has seen all through Major League Baseball and how more strikeouts he has seen in baseball, which is the case this year in 2017, Danny.
Major League Baseball concerned about all the strikeouts, want to see the ball in play a little bit more, but that is the case.
Worrying about launch angles, exit velocity. Nobody has a two-strike approach or trying to put the ball in play.
Game has changed, though.
It really has.
This is how it's played now.
Yeah. Chicks dig a long ball.
Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux in that famous commercial. Little fist bump. Machado pops it up. Flips his bat to the dugout. And the catch is made by DeYoung.
If Lance can have a real efficient inning here, but as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he just blows past that 100 pitch mark today.
Manny Machado wasn't even at first base when that ball was caught. He hit that thing a mile high.
And with seeing how infielders have battled the sun and everything else, never
just run the ball out
4 times a day. All you have to do, right?
Run the ball out. 1 out and a bunt by Jones. It's foul. Kubota, the power numbers for the Orioles all-time home run leaders: Cal Ripken, Eddie Murray, Boog Powell, and Brooks Robinson, and then Adam Jones. But we're talking about how the game's changed. That's part of it too, and it's not for the better in my mind.
No.
Run the ball out.
Always say that you never embarrass yourself if you hustle.
Jones has struck out, grounded into a double play. And it's fouled back. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's well hit into center. Fowler back, back. It's over his head. Jones to third with a triple.
Ball was hit very, very hard. Dexter going back on it, jumps up trying to catch it, and then he hit right in that corner at the 410 mark, bounces away from him. And you see he's not even running either, but still is able to get a triple out of it. Right at that corner at the 410 sign, and then carried away from Dexter Fowler, giving him the extra base.
Cardinals bring the infield in. Trumbo at the plate with 1 out. Here's the 0-1. A high fly ball lifted out to left. Drifting back. Pham at the wall, and it is gone.
Tommy Pham on this in the outfield. I mean, he's thought he was going to catch it well in front of the track, and then just kept on drifting back. Still thought he had a chance to catch it, and the ball just carries out. 3rd home run allowed tonight this afternoon by Lance Lynn. First 2 were solo. That's a 2-run shot, and the first time all year that Lance Lynn has given up more than 4 runs. going to start.
So 1 out. Mancini at the plate. Devin Segrist up and throwing. Five to our score.
Three-run lead here is nothing. Stop them right now.
I think a real question for Buck Showalter would be, who does he have late innings? Givens, usually the short man, and their setup man had to pitch a bunch yesterday, and so would he be off limits today? Cardinals did get to their bullpen in game 1.
Talk about it where teams carry 7 and 8 relievers and have guys that are off limits. Used to carry 10, and you never heard a guy was told he was off limits. You were always ready.
Did he go? Did not.
And again, that '67 World Championship team, a couple little notes about them. They had 31 players for the entire year. And they had a total of 13 pitchers for the entire year. And remember, Gibson was out 2.5 months with a broken leg.
3-2 the count on Mancini. And that's well hit in the left center. Pham is on the move. At the wall, and it's off the wall. And he's on his way to third. So 2 triples and a home run in this inning alone.
Up and in, he opens up his hips, he hits a high fly ball at the left center. And you just kind of look at that ball like that, even though it splits the 2 outfielders, you say, how's it going to be a triple? Well, the ball got away from, carried away from Pham. Fowler, the center fielder, had to retrieve it in left field, and that's how he got the extra base.
So again, the infield is drawn in. 102 the pitch count for Lance Lynn, trying to get him through 5. Jonathan Schoop at the plate, and their top man with runners in scoring position with a .388 average.
They have a lofty average as a team with runners in scoring position. In the Orioles hit .303 as a team with runners in scoring position, second best home record.
2 balls and no strikes. Schoop lines it foul.
Good look here. Umpire kind of has to get out of the way and then turn quickly to see where it lands and see how far foul.
2-1 fly ball right center. Fowler back, he's at the wall, and he leaps and catches it. May have taken a home run away. Mancini tags up, he scores at 6-2.
Bang that elbow on going up on the wall, and I think he did bring it back. We were talking earlier about these low walls. Ball flies here and hits that wall hard right at the elbow.
Terrific play by Dexter Fowler.
41st RBI for Scope. That leads their ball club.
Here's Castillo, 6-2 our score with 2 outs. And strike 1. Castillo is singled and struck out. Into center. Fowler is not going to bring this one back. Wellington Castillo a home run.
Two for 3 today. He had good numbers against Lance coming in. His 3rd home run he's hit off him, as he is 8 for 12 with 3 home runs against Lance Lynn. And that'll be it.
This will be our Chevy call to the pen. That's it for Lance Lynn. Kevin Segrist coming on when we come back. Bud Light, famous among friends. Buy Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting, full-size pickups on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. Buy Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And buy Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. Oriole Park at Camden Yards and a beautiful afternoon, but a rough day for Lance Lynn. 4 2/3, 10 hits, 7 runs. Gave up the 4 homers, struck out 5 and walked 2. So here's Kevin Segrist. He'll face Kim, who is walked and popped out. Numbers this season on the Cardinals lefty. The Hyundai pitch arsenal, the fastball change, and when he uses that curve, more than likely it's against a lefty. Popped up to the left side. Pham calling for it and makes the catch. The home run off the bat of Castillo. Darren O'Day playing outfielder in their bullpen. Nice play. Orioles 7-2 lead. '16 and older receive a Bob Gibson bobblehead commemorating the final out of that '67 championship season. Part 2 will be Tim McCarver. It's presented by AT&T. Jimenez grew up in San Cristobal, the Dominican. Didn't have his own bedroom. His family had a 3-room home. Parents slept in one room. Older sister occupied the other bedroom. Another sister would be in a separate bedroom, and he slept on a futon. Growing up with not a lot of money, both his parents worked 2 jobs. His father served in the military for 13 years. His fam lines at the second. Also worked as a bus driver and security guard. So this Father's Day, as all of them are, very important to Ubaldo Jimenez.
This one right on the nose. Perfect jump. And that's kind of how the things have gone for the Cardinals this weekend.
His sister is now a doctor. Here's Jed Jerko. Jimenez said he used to take a stone, wrap socks around it to make a ball. A stick was a bat. He's a former outfielder coming up, but because of a big arm, shifted to the mound. That's popped up to the right side. Catch made by Scope. Favorite pitcher was Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez. And it's rather ironic, Pedro's older brother Ramon now works in the front office for the Orioles.
Ramon was tall and lanky, and then Pedro was Dodgers, when they signed him, sent him to Montreal because they thought he was too small. Wouldn't be able to handle pitching at the big league level. Boy, were they wrong.
Here's Molina 0 for 2. Twice is grounded out to second base. At one point, you may remember, Jimenez was the starting pitcher for the National League All-Star team. 2010 was really a breakout season for him. No hitter in April. Went into the break 15-1. Finished third in the Cy Young vote that season. And then traded to Cleveland at the trade deadline the following year.
Gave out some big contracts to a few position players there in Colorado, and he was real upset. helped lead to that trade. 19-game winner that year, right?
Ground ball that's hit to short. And the Cardinals go quietly here in the top of the 6th. Jimenez through 6. Orioles on top. 7-2. Back to back. Action begins the T-Mobile Home Run Derby. That's July 10th. And then the All-Star Game, the 88th edition. Presented by MasterCard, July 11th on Fox. Coverage begins at 6:30 Central.
Seager's got the final out in the 5th inning. He'll take over now. Lance Lynn, his ERA has jumped up to 3.33. Started 4th best in the National League at 269.
This is Ruben Tejada. So after Hardy was hit by a pitch back in the 4th, it's now Tejada at short. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Diving stop by Garcia. Oh, what a play. Incredible play by Greg Garcia.
Outstanding. You can see he just dove for that ball, stops it. Look, he's on his toes, dives, pops up, fires a strike over it. Well, you get a play like that made behind you, and that just pumps you up. And difference of an extra base hit or a great defensive play in and out.
It's one of the best plays the Cardinals have made defensively this year.
Disappointing game yesterday, disappointing start to this one here, so even more have that concentration.
The curveball misses low to Seth Smith. Another look at the diving stop by Greg Garcia. Really good look here.
Yeah, you see how far off the line he is. Reactionary position, just a step and a dive is all the time you have.
Another curveball. 1-1. Dodgers lead the Reds 8-2. That's in the top of the 7th. Padres lead Milwaukee 1-0, top of 5, and the Cubs over the Pirates. That's in the top of the 7th, 6-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Smith. A lot of breaking balls here from Kevin Segrist.
Well, Dan, you talk about, the lefties is where he breaks out that breaking ball. Came up as a two-pitch pitcher, fastball, changeup, and that's why he had more success against the right-handed batters than left. But that sweeping curveball can be an equalizer.
There it is again, and Garcia won't get to that one. Into right center. He's thinking too. Throw by Piscotty is not in time.
Smith only lacks the triple for the cycle. Breaking ball, and she's down, but he stayed on that real well. He wasn't out on his front foot. Rifles it out here. You see Piscotty going out, cuts it off. Really came up firing, but the throw's offline.
So 1-out double. Here's Manny Machado. He struck out, he walked, and popped out. And the 1-0 pitch.
Talked about all season long, a little decrease in velocity, but still good enough. 92. Came up throwing 95, 96 consistently, but you just have to be a little more located, a little better at diminished velocity.
That scoots through Molina. So the infield will be brought in again. Cardinals trailing 7-2. Smith to third.
Sure would be called a wild pitch, but I'd be the first to tell you should have blocked this one.
Jessica Mendoza. Shut up.
Two and two.
That 72 miles an hour, it really took a lot off. Curveball there.
Another curveball, and it's fouled back. Don't want to miss the biggest end of the summer party and workplace wellness event of the year, the Biz Dash, Thursday, August 31st at Ballpark Village. It's brought to you by Fox Sports Midwest. Off the glove of Segrist and into center. Machado drives in his 32nd. Big day for Smith. And Mike Matheny again out to the mound, and let's see if he goes to his pen again. He will. That'll be it. Chevy called to the pen. Will step aside. Matt Bowman coming on when we come back. yesterday late. And here he is, appearance number 34. Well, this year the Cardinals are celebrating the 1987 team, and there's Roger McDowell. You think about 1987, you think about a famous home run. It happened 2 nights after tearing a tendon, Jack Clark's ankle. The Mets had moved to within a game and a half of the Cardinals. 4-1 in the ninth. McGee with 2 outs and an RBI base hit. Then Terry Pendleton, 2-run homer to tie it. Cardinals won it 6-4 in 10. Terry wound up with 96 ribbies that year. Most is RBIs that he had in his 7 years as a Cardinal, but a famous home run. And we'll be hearing more about that 87 club throughout this summer.
And McDowell, very good sinking fastball. Just a surprise to hit that straightaway center.
There's strike 1 on Adam Jones. You think about that year and where the club was at that point. Game and a half on the ropes, and Clark is out. And they knew for the year. I mean, the mindset of the club then was, oh no. And Terry Pendleton and the Cardinals come back in really a famous home run in September of 1987. 2 strikes on Jones.
Your memory is much better than I, but then when it's in the World Series, when Pendleton had an injury, could only hit from one side of the plate.
That's right.
Also in '85 was the tarp incident with Vince Coleman. And Vince said it was the reason that tarp that was very fast at about 3 miles an hour caught him. It was a female tarp. You never heard that one? That was, people said, how can you be one of the fastest guys in the league? How could you get caught by the tarp? That you roll out the tarp, on, for rain. He said it was a female tarp. That's why it ran over his leg.
All right.
His words.
Oh-2 pitch to Jones. Got him. So strikeout for Matt Bowman. Jones is 1 for 4 today. A couple of strikeouts. Ball moving.
Yeah, really tying him up, and some of his pitches, the bottom just falls out of it. He's been the Cardinals' go-to guy to come in and put out a fire. Try and get a ground ball, usually best option for the ground ball double play. Strikeout's just as good, but it's only 1 out versus 2.
And there's a strike. Trumbo back-to-back days with homers. Homered in the 5th, RBI single in the 3rd. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Matt Bowman went to Google Images to find different grips of his changeup. And it really is a forkball or splitter grip that he uses. It is not, though, a split finger pitch. Doesn't force the thumb through to push it out as his fingers are split with that baseball. 1-2 pitch. Said Las Vegas, you can be vertically challenged. Trying to get the ball to drop and sink.
Everybody's hands and their fingers different lengths, so you got to figure out what's most comfortable for you with that grip. Call it whatever you want it.
Here's a 1-2. The Slider misses away.
See how he really gets on top of pitches, really help him stay on top of them.
And a grounder. That's a fair ball. Garcia makes the play. Ray Garcia with a terrific play to start the inning, robbing Ruben Tejada, but it's all Orioles 8-2. A home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. This Father's Day, Stephen Piscotty with a couple of solo home runs. Stephen telling me the other day in the clubhouse, his father Mike is a computer programmer. Coached him all the way through Little League into high school, and as he said it, instrumental in getting me to the big leagues. They have two younger brothers as well. They would always go to a park near their house, Almont Park, Northern California. He said, you know, my dad still drops me an email here and there to tell me what I'm doing wrong. He said, but I appreciate it.
Sure. And I think a very close-knit family.
Waldo Jimenez pitching into the 7th.
You know, they took him out of the bullpen, not necessarily because he's pitching so well. Asher, who we saw yesterday, kind of like about a 9+ ERA in the rotation when they took Jimenez out, but was part of the problem was if you pitched him in relief, then you had to give him 3 or 4 days rest to recover.
And that's well hit out to right field, backing up and making the catch. Smith on the track.
Cardinals still not out of this. I said the Orioles have allowed 5 runs or more in 14 consecutive games. Knock the starter out, he should be pretty close to being his final inning to work and get into that bullpen.
Ledmus Diaz, ball 1. And a grounder pulled foul.
Rosenthal throwing in the Cardinal bullpen.
Ledmus was telling me last year his father many times was out of the country in Cuba and very instrumental in his baseball career was Nelson Diaz, and that was his uncle.
That was his father and uncle. And Jose Fernandez lived up the street, introduced baseball to him, and would get Jose and they go and Ledmus, and they'd go work out, play baseball. Still a tragic loss for baseball, the death of Fernandez.
The 3-2 pitch taken low. Budweiser, what's on tap? Mike Leake and Hellickson on the air at 5:30 from Citizens Bank Park. His father actually went to Botswana, leaving Cuba to go teach those there agriculture. Very bright man. Diaz very bright as well. Here's Greg Garcia.
That was the 4th walk allowed by Jimenez. 6 runs down in this ballpark isn't that much. It's not insurmountable. Activity in the O's bullpen.
That's hit out of play.
I believe that's Nuno, the lefty that's throwing for the O's. Rosenthal for the Cards.
1 ball and 1 strike. Missed in. This is exactly what Buck Showalter needed.
Yes. A little bit inside. Showalter looking for anybody to go deep into the game, save that bullpen a little bit.
Chased the ball up, and Garcia knew it. 2-2.
You know, the ball up, it's near eye level, so you feel like you see it so much better, but can't catch up to it.
And a fly ball out to center. Jones going back, and the Gold Glover puts it away. 4-time Gold Glover in center field, Adam Jones.
As you said, Dan, he went back on that ball, but doesn't reach up until the last second. You reach up too soon, it slows you down. He's got a beat on it, knows that where that warning track and wall is, and last second reaches up, hauls it in. Ledmus still at first base.
7, 8, 9 hitters this weekend. 10 for 25 coming into the ball game today, but quiet. Diaz with a walk and a single, and that's been it.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
And the home runs make a difference too. This is the 6th time Cardinals history they've allowed 4 home runs in consecutive games. First time since 2011. Only other time the Cardinals had 5 home runs hit against them back-to-back games was in 1954. Orioles with 4 today. A ball and a strike.
4 today. Orioles hit 5 yesterday and 1 on Friday. Cardinals have hit 10 in this series too. 5 on Friday night, 3 yesterday, and Piscotty's 2 bombs today.
2-1 the count on Paul DeYoung. Ground ball to Machado. Throws across his body and gets the force at second. Time to stretch on this Sunday afternoon and Father's Day.
St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. We're in the bottom of the 7th, and it's 8-2. The Orioles with the lead. Cardinals won game 1, Orioles game 2, and now they're leading game 3. Chevy called to the pen. Rosenthal is in, hasn't pitched this weekend, and this will be his 28th appearance on the year.
See the 10 walks, 24 plus innings. Cut that down. Control the strike zone a little better. And it also is an opportunity. You know, you are going to do your best to put up zeros, but you also can kind of work on some things. If you're coming out of that bullpen, 6 runs down.
Well, don't forget about the Cardinals and Reds makeup game on Monday, June 26th. That day, 30,000 fans 16 and older receive a Carlos Martinez, Matt Carpenter double bobblehead, courtesy of SSM Health and Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Visit cardinals.com/promotions.
You know what time that game is?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay.
We'll have a 2:30 pregame. We'll carry that game.
Perfect. Maybe we were carrying it. Just
make sure you show up on time.
You want to show up on time.
You can see you rolling in the bottom of the 8th saying, wait a minute, didn't know about this 3 o'clock start.
Chris Duncan was talking about a game with his father, was pitching coach. He's having a nice lunch. Kind of looks up and sees game on, think it's not a replay, and realize it was a day game. He was thinking it was a night game.
It can happen.
Oh, it can happen, but you have no excuse.
0-2 the count. Mancini at the plate. Trevor got off to the great start. He's hit a little bit of a rough patch here recently.
Still has electric stuff, and so.
Wow. He's got the changeup, the curve, and a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Strikeout of Mancini for the first out.
And you know, sometimes you get a 4-pitch pitcher like Rosenthal, and you know you're kind of confused in the bullpen because you can't keep 4 pitchers sharp. Especially if they're coming in late in the ball game, 8th or 9th inning, and they keep 2 pitchers sharp versus 4.
Fastball and a strike at 100.
Just a cool 100.
Nothing at 2.
101. Up and in, tying up the hitter.
Scope is 0 for 2 on the day. 0-2 pitch. Scope nodding. Yeah, he's pretty good.
42 strikeouts in 25 innings. Thank you for saving me, Dan. I gotta say it before you do.
Why don't you catch it?
You guys know in the booth here that he has saved my life
Multiple times.
Multiple.
Most notable was in Milwaukee.
I was under the table or
Yeah.
something. Oh, that,
Yeah. That was the one that
embellish it now.
Well, I'm not embellishing it. You were under the table, and then I made the catch, and then
Well, and then your hand hurt.
it did hurt, so I used my other hand to help pick you up. Why did you catch that one? Right here,
Because
moments
I
ago.
probably would have fallen out of the booth to try and reach down and catch it. 10 feet below me.
Tommy, our director, there's a camera that's in our booth, so many times they can see what's happening up here, and he confirmed my story.
Yeah, I want to see the video of it.
And there's a strikeout. Fortunately, we don't keep everything. Fox Sports Go. Take it with you wherever you go. Download the app and watch Cardinals baseball. Tell you what, Rosenthal looks filthy today. Changeup is really good.
100 miles an hour running in on your hands.
Yeah. DeYoung with the catch. Scoreless frame put up by Rosenthal. 8-2 as we head to the 8th. Our score. Orioles here in the top of the 8th with the lead on Father's Day 2017.
Dan?
Yes, sir.
Now, if we don't come back in this game, everything will be all right because the cat will come in. He'll be the one to turn things around in Philadelphia.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
What's that say about Scotty then?
Still a rookie.
Oh, you haven't given him veteran status yet.
No.
Here's Nuno, who's just called up. The lefty pitched in game 1. And the batter will be Matt Carpenter. Love the story of Matt Carpenter with his father Rick. Early, and I mean early in his life, he wasn't walking yet. They used to have a little stick that would keep a door closed to make sure that he would get out. So as Rick told me a few years ago, Matt goes over, crawls to the stick, grabs it, puts it on his shoulder like he does now, and started swinging the bat. And he said at that point we knew we probably need to get a T-ball set. That's what they did. Rick, a longtime coach, one point coach of the year in the United States in high school, the state of Texas. And they have a son that's a pretty darn good ball player. 1-2 the count here on Carpenter, who has walked twice. Fowler on deck, and then Pham.
Matt has walked twice today, so he's 0 for 1, but hitless yesterday, had his 10-game hitting streak stop. He's chomping at the bit to start a new one.
And that's out of play. Seen him go deep into counts with those 2 walks, and he's taken some really borderline pitches that have gone his way. Great batting eye that Carpenter has. 3-2 pitch, and he walks for the 3rd time. Nissan drives of the game. Stephen Piscotty. That's the first of his 2. Piscotty with home runs 5 and 6. So leadoff walk to Carpenter, and it brings in Dexter Fowler. That is a foul ball. Machado still going for the force play at second base. I'm not sure we've seen anybody better than Machado throwing across his body to second base.
I agree with you. And when he throws it and lets it go, it's a rocket. Many times he's like this, throwing back across his body and throwing a strike with some mustard on it.
And the great play yesterday.
And you said almost in the first seat.
Yeah.
First row.
The ball just explodes out of his hand, too. It was the 8th inning of a blowout game, and watch this. Incredible play by Machado. Here's a 1-1.
You can see why Machado is so valued. Be a free agent after next season.
A ball and 2 strikes on Fowler.
Didn't hurt that he had 37 home runs a year ago either.
He, along with Arenado, the flair of which they play the position, kind of throw off balance a lot. Great arms. Fowler going to drive into right center, and this ball is gone. He's done it again. Another home run for Fowler, and his first from the right side of the plate this year. Dexter now with lucky number 13.
That ties last year's home run total. It's also 4 home runs in 4 straight games. Said the first 12 were all from the left side of the plate. And Buck Showalter, he was pounced before he got on home plate. Buck Showalter was halfway to the mound. These low fences here really make a difference, don't they?
They do. So Buck Showalter is Dexter Fowler now 4 consecutive games of the home run. The last Cardinal to do that was the great Albert Pujols in 2011. So Castro in, still nobody out here at the top of the 8th, and the batter will be Tommy Pham. 8-4 our score.
They're in that bullpen.
Bullpen trying to make this lead stick for Jimenez and give him a win. Pham on the first pitch, a grounder that's hit to short. Ruben Tejada, and there's one away. Al mentioned Machado, free agent to be after next season. 31 years old or younger in 2018. Some notable free agents: Harper, Machado, Kershaw, Britton, Dallas Keuchel, former Cy Young Award winner. Some pretty big names.
And Britton is their closer, is on the DL. Was perfect, 47 for 47 in save opportunities a year ago. A year ago, Castro made the opening day roster for Colorado.
Kershaw, it would be only if he opted out of his deal.
Yes.
In the midst of a long-term contract. Here's a 1-0. And Jerko hits it a mile high out to shallow center. And the catch is made by Jones.
Castro, they acquired him from Colorado in exchange for a player to be named later, or cash considerations, in April. He was recalled from Double-A Bowie on June 12th. Tall, lanky. Sure he's not too old, but not in the media guide.
Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote Cardinals. Esurance All-Star Game ballot. All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th on Fox. The 2-1. Molina, high, towering drive into deep left field. This ball is gone. The second home run in the inning. Molina homered yesterday. He does so today. And it's now 8-5 Baltimore.
And that's 15 straight games where the Orioles have allowed at least 5 runs. So you can see, even though they got 7 innings out of Jimenez today, they were reluctant to go to the bullpen. And Yachty just turns on a pitch. His 8th home run, as you said, 2 in a row. Bring up our home run hitter today, Piscotty.
Steven already with 2 today. And a slider and a strike.
5 home runs yesterday, or 5 home runs on Friday night, 3 home runs yesterday, and 4 today.
0-1 pitch. Piscotty. Fly ball into shallow right center. 8th time that Yadier Molina has homered in back-to-back games. Cardinals pick up 3. They're down by 3 midway through 8. Fourth straight game with a home run for Dexter Fowler. Molina his 2nd straight, and now it is Brett Cecil. Chevy called to the pen. Numbers on Brett this year. ERA that's now under 5. This will be his 33rd appearance of the season.
Historically, always gets off to a slow start, and there was no doubt he got off to a slow start with the Cardinals. But as you said, that ERA is on a steady decline. It kind of seems like he's getting ahead of more hitters right now, and then he can give them that curveball that he likes to throw about 50% of the time. Get them to chase it.
Fowler's home run is 13th. RBI is 34 and 35 now. And And a strike. 102 miles an hour off the bat for Dexter Fowler. Joey Rickard is at the plate for the first time. Took over in left field. 0-1 pitch. Grounder. Garcia again. Up with it. Nice play.
You said a nice play, but I don't mean this to a real difference in throwing arm. But plenty of arm strength to get it over there and get them out. Tejada's second plate appearance.
Right now, concern for the Orioles would be status of J.J. Hardy, who was hit the wrist or the hand earlier in the game. That was back in the 4th inning, and Tejada had to come in and take over.
You hope it's just precautionary. You know, had a considerable lead at that time.
Carpenter over near the crowd, and it's caught by a fan. If the fan would have reached over, that would have been interference. But Carpenter reaching into the crowd, different story.
Change up there. This is a curveball that he likes to use.
And a foul ball. Cubs hold on against the Pirates today. They win 7-1. John Lackey picked up the victory. And the 1-2. Popped into right. There is Piscotty. Makes the catch. There's 2 down. Cardinals will have Diaz, Garcia, and DeYoung coming up. Budweiser player of the game, Ubaldo Jimenez, 7 innings, 4 hits, a couple of runs, walked 4, struck out 3 in 106 pitches. So 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-0 pitch with 2 outs and nobody on. Smith is a triple away from the cycle.
Already seen 2 triples in this game, the same inning. 5th inning by the Orioles.
The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. We were ready again.
Wait a minute. Let me get down here and show you where I was.
Get back up
Can't
here.
do that. I started getting a cramp from my hamstring. Put me on the DL, Danny. Protecting me.
Just doing my job. The 2-1 off the end of the bat. 2-2. Felix PA, 2009, the last cycle for the Orioles. also known as Felix Pie.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The 2-2.
No walks, so challenge him here.
3-2 pitch to Smith. Handled by Diaz. And it sends us to the 9th. Diaz, Garcia, DeYoung coming up. And it's 8-5 Baltimore. Into the ball game, our Chevy called to the pen. This will be his 31st appearance of the year. Starts with Aledmys Diaz. We're in the top of the 9th. Cardinals trail by 3. And the first pitch is taken for a ball.
And pick up his 12th save of the year.
Diaz 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Somehow, some way, Cardinals would love to see Carpenter and Fowler have another crack at it.
So really, they would really concentrate. Figure out some way to get on base. Don't get yourself out.
Here's a 1-1. The fly ball, center field. Adam Jones for the first out. Take a look at our State Farm double play. Trey Mancini. Carpenter at first. And a double play.
No chance for Carpenter.
So 1 out, and Garcia hits it out of play. 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Back to Brock. And the Cardinals down to their final out.
Richard Brock trying to pick up his 12th save. Britton there, great closer. Was 47 for 47 a year ago. He had 5 saves before he went on the disabled list. And he's been on 2 different times. Those should get him back sometime relatively soon, as he'll go out on a rehab tomorrow. If DeYoung can extend this game, bring up Carpenter, and hopefully foul.
Strike 1. So the Cardinals took game 1 of the series, dropped game 2, and on the verge of dropping game 3. Oh, and 2 the count.
They have to have a lot of patience to sit still like Showalter in this ballpark.
Baltimore takes 2 of 3 this weekend. Strikeout of DeYoung. Off day tomorrow for the Cardinals, and we head to Philly. We'll be on the air 5:30 on Tuesday night, and it's off to the post-game show here.
You know, sometimes off days fall a long time. Sometimes they're a welcome relief. I think that's the case for the Cardinals with the off day tomorrow. And then take on Philly, and hopefully you can get back in the winning ways.
Orioles take 2 of 3.